Hello, welcome to video number 3. So, this means I've been doing this 3 days in a row on my way to becoming a habit because what is the rule of thumb? Do something for 2 weeks and it becomes a habit. So, maybe we'll hit it. That'll be the new goal. Let's hit 2 weeks, right? So, in the first 2, we talked about things with addiction, right? That's the whole purpose of this, what I want to be doing. So the first one I talked about the rat park, making your surroundings happy, getting your needs met. The second one, we talked about some brain shit and like feeling good and all of that good stuff. So, a part I wanted to talk about today, and this is weird because this is one thing that I don't get to do in real life. Like, I wanted to share my perspective as the counselor. And in real life with my own clients, I don't get to do that. We keep ourselves out of the session. It's not about us, so we don't talk about us. But I think as far as this platform goes, trying to do things universally, like, I think it's important to know, like, where we're coming from. So, with that being said, I think as a counselor, the biggest thing that I would want my clients to know is that, and I talked about this in another video, that I genuinely give a shit. Like, we're not supposed to let your problems and your victories be our own, but we do. I've woken up in the middle of the night before, like worried about a client. I've come home from work ecstatic and happy because of success of a client. Like they reached a month sober, 6 months sober, a year sober, whatever it may be. Or even not even just the length of time in sobriety, they achieved some kind of step that made them happy. And the reason that it hits us so deep is because you can't monitor that kind of change. You can't evidence base it to show that it's effective or things like that. It's just a look on a person's face. When a person does something for the first time that makes them feel good or happy or proud of themselves or have hope for a future, there's nothing like it. You can't replicate it in any way. It's just this most natural, beautiful human thing. And that's where I come from. That's the reason we do it. They say, as far as like a counseling goes, that the counselor-client relationship is the biggest indicator of how successful the client's going to be in treatment, right? How susceptible they're going to be, how well it's going to work for them. Is it going to stick? So then I wonder, all right, if the relationship between me and the person is the biggest indicator, what is that telling me? And it's exactly what I was talking about yesterday, the connection to humans. Being connected to somebody, genuinely giving a fuck, like all of these things put together, that's what makes a difference. And building that rapport comes just from listening, just from being there. So many times, oh my God, every time I tell somebody what I am for a living, they think they have one up on me, right? Like, they lie to you, right? What? You don't fucking say. Or they're only doing this to get out of trouble. Really? I fucking would too, man. Who wants to be in trouble? Especially for something for like drug use. Like, that's a bullshit reason to have trouble with the law. Personal opinion there. But yeah, obviously they're going to lie. They're in a position where they've been in trouble, typically with the law, or they've had to hide it from their friends or family, or they're embarrassed, or whatever the reason is. The reason doesn't matter. I don't care when somebody lies to me because I know that they have a reason for doing so. And the reason is usually something really vulnerable about themselves that they're scared to share. And that's why they're hiding it. That's why they're covering up, because it's just this little fragile piece of them that they're still holding on to that they don't want to be seen. Whether it's that they're scared, they're ashamed, they're worried about what's going to happen, they're being hard on themselves. It all comes from this vulnerability. So I don't care if a client lies to me. If that's what they need me to believe about them in that moment, so be it. I'll believe it. You don't have a problem? Fantastic. Then this is going to be pretty easy. Let's talk about the fucking weather. Whatever it may be, So I don't mind lies, because I know that they're serving their purpose for the person. It's their form of protection. It's, defense mechanism, and it's okay. Almost expected. But for whatever reason, society looks at it as, oh, big, bad, awful liar, blah, blah, blah. And that's where it's got to change. That's where we have to start seeing things different. Like, we need to be more empathetic, more understanding, more open, more honest, talk more, have these conversations, even the hard ones, and just move forward. So I know this wasn't much on the treatment piece, or like, if you're looking for help, how can I do it? But that's okay, because this part of it is all another piece to the puzzle, right? Like, I could just make videos teaching you tips and tricks and like what to do and refusal skills and how to say no and do other shit and blah, blah, blah. There's more to it than that. So, personal inside look on the mind of your counselor. We're right there with you. We're feeling what you're feeling, or at least trying our damnedest to. And we are definitely rooting for you every step of the way. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. Bye.